meeting is being recorded.
Okay. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, Albert, good to be with you. How are you?
I'm great. And I gotta tell you, I am excited to talk to you because I've been a huge fan of yours since I was like 5 years old with
I
the
appreciate it.
BeastMaster and V. And I'm just like totally stoked to be talking to you about Agent Recon.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks very much. The Agent Recon is a new chapter, I think, in a story that I've been telling for decades now, right? It's Mike Donovan from the series V, and it's the Beastmaster from the Beastmaster, and now in a new iteration, it's Colonel Green and Agent Recon. So I'm pretty familiar with the arc of this kind of storytelling.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this was a great movie. I actually talked to Derek a few days ago about it, and I was telling him how much I loved this movie because it was more linear compared to his other films, the other Agent films. And the fact that you got to work with not just Derek, but Chuck Norris as well in his comeback film, that just makes it more like this is like an action fan's dream in a way.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I liked there was the storyline. I have to say really impressed me. I like the idea of a father and a daughter who've chosen the same profession, the military, and that she's in a dangerous spot, and that his attempts to rescue her are sort of more metaphorically. They're like the way all fathers care about daughters or sons. It's just that the situation is heightened. And I like that very much. I also really got a big kick out of working with Chuck. He was fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what was it like working with Derek? Because he had just such high praise for you when you talk about it.
You know, if he had any praise for me, I think that's really more indicative of his character, because Derek is an amazing guy, and what a filmmaker, writer, director, author. Author, director, producer, leading man, and carried that all off on the set like we were all sitting down to Sunday brunch. Just had a great experience working with him. The whole crew was so easy and relaxed under his direction. Every actor, same way. It's amazing. I think something like that would have had a normal mortal smoking 3 or 4 packs of cigarettes a day, but he took it all in stride. It was a real pleasure, and very supportive, by the way, of everything that any creative entity came up and suggested. Great cinematographer, terrific crew. Anybody who had an idea, he was open to it. Terrific.
And I like the fact that you did a lot of your own stunts again in this. Which is amazing, because Derek was telling me like you had these ideas for doing your own. You wanted to do all your own action scenes, and I know you had this background for so long, and it just seemed like old hat to you because you just did a phenomenal job with your action scenes.
Well, I always think I think there's always something particular that the actor brings to the way he moves that really connects with the audience. And I think as much as you can keep that authentic, it really helps the film. It strengthens the film. And then just on the regular level, I dig it. I like doing it. It's fun.
I know. I've seen for so many years you've done, did so many like action, like besides Beastmaster. I remember you in Savat, where you got to even show your martial arts skills in the film, which I was like, I didn't even know at the time you did martial arts, and then when I heard about it, I'm like, that's amazing that you got to, like, because you move so fluidly in your fight scenes, and here you did it again as well, which is like amazing.
Well, I appreciate it. It's every actor's lot to bring with them their entire life experience, and if the martial arts are part of it, then you bring that along. And if you have any other skill sets or any other inclinations, they're always going to show up someplace. I've been very fortunate in that regard. Yeah.
And what was it like working with Chuck Norris? Because I heard so much great stuff about it.
I was we had met briefly in a few of the black tie events that Hollywood used to host back in the day, but we knew of each other, but we never had a chance to work together, and we hung with a different crowd, and so this was the first time I ever got a chance to get the measure of the man as an actor personally, face to face, and he the same way, in reverse, and also to see what kind of a person he was. And I have to say, I was impressed in absolutely every positive way. He came on the set with such enthusiasm for being in front of the camera that it was absolutely infectious. A very, I would say, very, very deferential, almost to the point of being humble, and and did what all, I think, really fine artists do, which is that he fell in love with everybody right away, and everybody fell in love with him, and it was a wonderful experience. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and it was great to see him finally fight on screen again because I know his last film appearance, he just had a big gun, just did his little one-liner, but to see him at 84 throwing down again, I was just like, oh my God, he still moves like he's like in his 30s. It's just
He
amazing.
he's if you give him an inch, he'll get in there and do it.
Exactly, just like you did. I mean, because you're up there too, but you got to still do your, you still move like you're in your 30s as well. So that's even amazing.
I'll talk to my elbows and my knees, and I'll tell them you said so.
So finally, after with Agent Recon now coming up, are you going to keep doing action films, or you got any more projects coming up?
There are, I always say that nothing's real in Hollywood until it's real. There are projects in the offing. Um, as far as action adventures, I can see that that's happening. I think that not to be presumptuous, but it's possible that Derek and I might work again together. He's very generous, and I think we got along very well. I enjoyed every moment on the screen with him, and and we had fun on the set,
Yeah,
and that's a good thing.
and that's one thing I noticed because I noticed that you're looking for your daughter in the film, but yet at first you were kind of hesitant towards Jim, but then as the film progressed, you had kind of father-son relationship in a way. Kind of felt like you had that
Ex-
dynamic.
and when you ask about what I have in the offing and whether or not there'll be action adventures, it's that kind of relationship, story in the storyline that attracts me. Things that are deeper than just jumping over a wall or shooting a gun. And uh, I'm glad that came through. That's what was intended. Without ever mentioning it, and this is a tribute to Derek as a director and as a writer. Without mentioning it, he is metaphorically the son that Colonel Green, the character I play, never had, and that's an interesting area to explore.
Yeah, we might even see that in the next Agent movie if it happens. So let's see how things go.
Yeah, yeah. Couldn't have been prouder to be associated with him.
So everyone, check out Agent Recon on June 21st. It's an excellent action film. Derek Ting is awesome, and we get to see Mark and Chuck once again doing what they do best. And Mark, I have had such a great time talking to you about this.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And by the way, just to mention, Derek Ting is pretty good with his hands too, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's definitely really good. So who knows? Let's see you and him back on screen again soon, kicking butt.
Well, we'll see what happens. I hope so too.
All right, you take care and have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye bye.